መተናል መተናል
For this, Freiburg have been waiting
Jamara.
their whole lives for this moment. As always, starts an Aston Villa game for the 100th time. Any challenge on Timmermans, and the referee says it's okay. This is Zambi, and immediately swarmed upon by 3 Aston Villa defenders. Clearance has not been convincing.
Man ያሸንፋል ማን ያሸንፋል ማን ያሸንፋል ምን ይሆናል
Starting 11's continuity of selection is clearly important for both coaches. Julius Schuster, it's the same team that beat Braga in the second leg of the semi-final. Unai Emery has made just one change to his starting 11 in the last 4 Europa League games. So who will benefit most from keeping the team together?
አረበለ ጫወታው ሞቋል ቢስሚላህ ምን አይነት ምት ነው ሞርጋሉ ደርስ የመጣው በለው
Again, Villa with Tielemans quickly turning defence into attack. Villa were direct there. Tielemans to Watkins. Europa League final and has started at 100 miles an hour. And this is Watkins again. Oh, he set himself up so well and he just couldn't provide the final moment. Don't think it would have got him anywhere. No, he's way offside actually, but you mentioned there about Villa playing direct. They don't just
Morgan Rogers. Oh, sorry.
This is a tactic Villa use. They turn defences around. They use the pace and normally good time runs from Watkins to get in behind defences. Teams we saw do that as well. They get the ball forward, play longer passes. Really Philip Lienhardt, the Austrian. Who has played every minute of every Europa League game for Freiburg this season so far. But the first few minutes ready to go by for a cracking final with both sides stepping onto their opponents and right from the off, incredibly positive. Jumping in the air against Kumar.
ጫወታው ሞቋል እናንተ ምንድነው ይሄ አሰልጣኝ ነው
understand why Julian Schuster is playing in the more advanced role, getting on the ball in those pockets of space in between the middle lines. Julian Schuster, the Freiburg head coach, last German coach to win either the UEFA Cup or the Europa League, was Franz Beckenbauer. First yellow card of the evening is coming very early for Philip Troy. On the occasions like this, the referee might just have a word with the defender and say, do that again. And you go into the ball, the referee clearly feels that it is pretty obvious, it's cynical. The referee laid down an early marker to the players that you'll respect the mark and you're going to get full to the players. Defenders in particular have to be very, very careful any challenges they make from here on in. Well, no player has ever been sent off in a Europa League final. It is going to be a long 85 minutes plus now from Philip Troy. Jimmy Buttons trying to pick out the ball here. Gardenia.
Tillemans.
Wasn't able to deal with it. So off balance, Leonard clears the reason he was on balance once he was fouled by Watkins. Well, Cooper actually caused himself a problem there. It was such a poor header. He actually headed it back towards the byline. Then had to go chasing. He was desperate to keep it in play, and he actually gifted the ball back to Philip. The only thing that might help Philip Troy in terms of not picking up a second yellow card, his job again isn't a winger. He will tuck infield. Cash will provide the width down the right hand side. So hopefully there won't be too many occasions when he's kind of fought one on one with McGinn. Here is Philip Troy. Lead hard. People. Concert is launched as the ball gets to him, and that is the free kick to Aston Villa. Fouled by Igor Mandanovic. I actually felt initially Mandanovic was fouled by Pau Torres. And then centre forward just again, he just runs into the defender. You're not going to get away with that. I mean, initially when he turned around beyond the Villa defence, Torres just grabbed a hold of him. But both sides showing it's not all about playing the ball to feet. They're going to try and turn their opponents around. Igor Mandanovic, who scored in Freiburg's most recent game, the 4-1 win over Leipzig on Saturday, scored twice against Hamburg 2 games ago. Troy, what is his first season playing European football, has got to keep his cool down. It's lovely conditions here, by the way. There was a heavy rain this morning in Istanbul, but it's all dried up ahead of kickoff. Watkins again deep to a foul the defender. This time, Matthias Newton. And Martinez again playing that long forward ball. Recent game against Burnley, they did exactly this. They turned Burnley around. Watkins got in and scored. The Freiburg centre-halves, Inter and Leonard, they have to be ready and aware that they've done their homework. They've got to get in good defensive positions when Martinez is in possession. Again, Jimmy Buttons, Vultures, gets it back from Poitier. There has been a smoothness and crispness to Aston Villa's passing in the opening stages here. So I mentioned there, Matty Cash on with the overlap going around John McGinn and tripping infield. Outdoors. Lindelof, who has now started 4 games in a row in this defensive midfield position in his entire Manchester United career. Only once did Victor Lindelof ever start a game in midfield. It has been a shrewd tactical switch from Unai Emery in recent weeks. Also gives Villa the option he can drop into the back line. They can turn into a back three and play with wing backs, push their full backs on. The king of the Europa League, Unai Emery tonight, chasing his 5th title in this competition. Poitier able to get in around the back of Cooper. Freiburg should have cleared.
ማን ያሸንፋል? ኧረ በለው! ሩጋር ሮጀርስ ምርጥ ኳስ ነበረ። ለትንሽ ወላሂ ለትንሽ ሞርጋን ሮጀርስ ይችላል። ዋትኪንስም ይችላል። እንደ ክሪኬት ብቻ
well outside the penalty area, keeping those big Villa players out of the box. Anticipating the Freiburg, expecting that straight ball into the box. Attacking quality needs to deliver much better ball into the box than that. Maybe Wendy scored a penalty in the Europa semi-final night against Nottingham Forest. They got Goose who scored in the semi, and he also scored in both quarter-final legs too against Bologna.
ኦሌ ስጦ ሮጀርስ አለ ወይኔ
The pattern of the game is what he expected. Villa dominating the ball, getting Freiburg in. So Freiburg, when they have the ball, they can play that possession game. If you pinned in the edge of your own penalty area, can you then become a really effective counter-attacking team? They have to take better care of the ball. They're being starved of it. Last 5 minutes or so, Villa getting on top. So when Freiburg have it, keep hold of it. Continue making his 11th appearance in the Europa League this campaign.
ምንድነው አፍንጫዬ ደግሞ ምንድነው
At all in that midfield. Both teams just smothering each other in that central area. Absolutely, again, that's where normally the tempo of the game is controlled from. So that the central midfielders can they get hold of the ball and dictate the flow of the game. Martinez playing in the 5th major final of his career. He has played in an FA Cup final for Arsenal, of course the World Cup final, and a Copa America final too for Argentina. Free kick given to Freiburg here. Surely for Martinez, once you played in the World Cup final, the pressure in a game like that, the biggest game in World Cup football, surely he can relax and enjoy this occasion, not be beaten down by it. That World Cup final, which did go to a penalty shootout, And if this game was to remain level tonight through extra time, one way or the other, we will get a winner, even if this Europa League final goes to a penalty shootout. This is Freiburg's first free kick of the night. Run by Habibi. Maybe Buendia commits the foul. Nicholas Aston and Aston Villa get there first. Yellow card of the night. It actually seemed to me that Aston ran into maybe Buendia, then went to ground. Freiburg players are saying there's maybe an elbow in there, but I think Buendia I just stood my ground and the player ran into me. So I didn't actually make a move towards him. I think that's why he's so unhappy. I think McGinn is probably saying the same thing to the referee. Shall begin to like the first Scot to captain a team in the European final since Barry Ferguson in 2008. And then looking at the replay again, it's that left arm. It just comes out. It's not a swinging arm. It's a protective arm. But once it comes up and it makes contact with an opponent, I can see why the referee is unhappy. Aston, as you can see, is back up on his feet. He scored in Freiburg's win over Leipzig on Saturday. Nicholas Aston scored in the quarter-final of this competition too against Celta Vigo. It's another attacking set-piece position for the German side. Vincenzo Grifo to take. Decent whip on that, really good delivery. Sets up for an opportunity and just away off target from Nicholas Hoffler. Well, many people consider Vincenzo Grifo to be one of the best free kick deliverers in Europe, and this a great example. It's a brilliant ball in. He's not looking to pick out a teammate, he's putting it into that space between the Villa defensive line and Martinez for his teammates to step onto. So then Villa are pinned in, they can't get out to the striker of the ball. I think they wanted a corner there, didn't they, Freiburg? They feeling came maybe off a Villa player. Really, that strike should be on target, but it came from a brilliant set-piece delivery from Grifo. Freiburg, who might feel that that opportunity fell to the wrong player. Nicholas Hoffler hasn't scored in 2.5 years. They maybe just got a little bit excited, and that ball came back to him, but it was a really good opportunity, and from that range, he should be hitting a target, regardless of whether you're a regular goal scorer or not. Hard not to get excited in this atmosphere, this occasion. The importance of this game for each of these two clubs. It's one considered for Rodgers. Coutinho.
Freiburg ከባድ ናት ማለት ነው።
In the stadium, 3 hours before the game, the atmosphere they created, incredible.
Emi.
Buendia. Lindelof. Space here for Maxi Cash.
Tillemans.
Buendia left that, thinking he was going to go through the Rodgers. Sabota's clearance goes straight out to return possession to Aston Villa. Yeah, Freiburg have done their Aston Villa, but when you see them in possession, comfortable possession, Buendia and McGinn, they kind of come in from wide positions fairly narrow. The fullbacks then provide the width. So again, defensively, you have to be aware of those players changing their positions and make sure you communicate really well. Pressure from John again. So, this is Watkins. Lindelof. Now Torres. In around by Hoffler.
Goes.
Kept play by Matty Cash. The two players have just collided as they spilled off the field there. something untoward. It's just an awkward height of the advertising board. They both nearly fell over it. It's a difficult ball into the box that defended quite brilliantly. Again, central midfielder, aware of the danger. He tracked his man all the way back, and there's too much in this. They just grab hold of each other and stop a little sit down, a little rest. Tiring up in 20 minutes. Salovic jumping with Lindelof. Get back to Cash. Watkins in pursuit of this. Lienhardt has his eye on it all the way. Space in the midfield. We've not seen that much tonight in this time. People. Very strong just for Matty Cash. Free kick has been awarded against him. And it's going to be a yellow card too. 3 yellows in the first 20 minutes. We said that with that early booking for Troy. He's kind of laid down a mark for the referee. If you don't get challenges right, you've got a problem. It bounces up, it tempts Cash in, and I think Cash actually plays the ball, but that isn't a defence. It's to follow through. He catches Grifo with the raised leg. Just once the raised leg come through, that's the problem. That's why he's been booked.
ቀጥታ ስለሆነ አይቻልም በቅርስ
Again, from a defensive point of view, Cash is first to the ball. There's no need to follow through like that. You played the ball. That becomes a reckless challenge. That's why it's a yellow. Vincenzo Grifo would have been expecting to be a marked man tonight. Between scoring and assists, no other player has been involved in more goals in the Europa League this season. Just as we said for Philip Troy earlier, for Matty Cash, the position he plays, being on a yellow card now, it does alter the dynamic. Absolutely. I've been there. It is. Especially early in the game as well. That's the problem. It's maybe in the 80th minute. You're running short on time, the chance of you getting a second yellow card, it's maybe not going to happen. But so early in the game, probably, I think the players have been surprised how quickly the referee's gone to his book and yellow carded them. But if you look at the challenges, you can understand completely. The referee says, again, by the laws, you're going to get yellow carded. So whether it be first minute or last, you're going to pick up a yellow card. Especially those defenders who are going to be up against some real danger men. It's that early strike from Rodgers. I think it's savable. Keeper reads it. It's a good height. There's not too much power on it. It's a save. I would have been surprised if that had gone through Atabolo and in. He's a young goalkeeper, Noah Atabolo. Just turns 24 on Monday. It's kind of saving you want to make early in a final. You know you're going to make it when you get an early touch of the ball. Right, Grifo is finally back up on his feet and ready to resume. Aston is going to take this free kick. Too much on it from Nicholas Beston. Coutinho goes long, and Villa have been direct tonight in playing out for Coutinho again. Buendia tucked up against the choke of the touchline there, just about able to keep the ball in play. It's by design. Aston Villa going back to front with quality passes. They're not just long, hopeful forward balls. They've worked on this because they got Watkins and Buendia, Rodgers. They got players who can really hurt you. Turn the defense around quickly. Lindelof. Conte. Direct again from Martinez. Watkins was strong, but so too Lienhardt. Good battle between those two in the opening quarter of this Europa League final. Troy. Grifo. Straight to his reconcer, but he returns it to that Zambi. Grifo again. Well, we're in space again by Eggestein. Ginter comes it on to Kumar. Ginter. Pursued by Lucadillo. Best out, lead up and try to go over the top. Torres was holding the line, hoping to trigger an offside. Televic towards Zimmermans, but it matched Dwindle. Because the flag is raised on the far side. Mapuni, the official over there. That's maybe a sign of how modern football is changing. It used to be just about possession, short passes, but both teams you see looking to turn each other around. The offside call, absolutely right. For fullbacks and centre halves, it's a challenge there defensively when the game suddenly is behind you rather than always in front of you. Finland's first European final since 1982. A lot of noise being made by the travelling German fans at the moment. It's been an impressive season though for the English clubs in Europe. Villa in this Europa League final. Arsenal have gone through to the Champions League final. Crystal Palace are in the Conference League final. What a good signing he's been. It's his first campaign with Freiburg. Joined them from Eintracht Frankfurt last summer. And he's chipped in 15 goals across all competitions this season. Wendia. Gillemans. So to catch. Again, good return. Watkins. Cash. Outside of the boot. Almost judged to perfection. Dean is arriving. Kubla will shield and he'll shepherd, and he was pushed, and that's a free kick. Well, Kubla was on the stretch there to make that header, but his defensive positioning round on the cover, exactly where a right back should be, and his teammates know. Yes, he got to the ball. Got that headed clearance in, but it's his positioning is all important. If he's slightly too wide, the attackers can get into that space in between him and the centre halves. He's been there through second league with Freiburg. This is his 11th season with the club. Especially this evening is such significance for him to fill up. Got into the penalty area there with Matty Cash, but it's actually the first time that Aston Villa were able to break into the opposition penalty area and have a touch of the game. Swiftler, two-man Zambi. Troy on the Griffin.
30 minutes. So 50 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go for first half.
Just watching Matty Cash there again, one-on-one with Grifo. He's shoving the back of Grifo, and you're on it, you can't just get. There's no need for it. You're never going to win the ball back. Just stay away from your man, track him. Don't make contact with him. Just giving the referee maybe a reason to give you that second yellow. Ginter. Leonard. Freiburg enjoying this spell of possession. There's no real high press either from Aston Villa. Over half an hour played now, and a miscue by Kubla. It's really important when both teams are dominating the ball, they have comfortable possession. They've got to move it quickly, play at a high tempo, because their opponents are sitting in a good defensive shape. You've got to move them around, and to do that, you've got to move the ball quickly. So, there. We mentioned his 4 Europa League titles in the past. For all his glory in this competition, he has suffered pain too. But I remember he was the Arsenal manager when they were beaten in the Europa League final in 2019. They lost to fellow Premier League club Chelsea.
Penalty.
Played 10 ball for Morgan Rogers there. That's all Stanley playing in between the lines for Freiburg. Looking at Morgan Rogers, I expected him to do a similar job for Villa, but many occasions he's playing virtually as a second striker alongside Ollie Watkins. Since the back challenge from Hofler was good. Wendy wins it back. Tillemans. Great tracking by Mansapi. And here is Mansapi again. And Emi Martinez makes his first proper save of the night. It's a really difficult tackle that he attempts here as well. It's hard work to step back and try and win the ball back, but actually he tackles with his wrong foot. You have to get that right. He kind of wins it with his right heel rather than kind of sweeping round and winning with his left foot. But there's the pressure on the ball.
Wow.
They're going to give it away. Yeah, they're going to be attacked on the edge of their box very quickly. Johan Mansapi scored against Prague in the semi-final second leg. It's a strong work down the other end from Watkins. Decent turn too. Watkins in the end trying to take the ball on. Yeah, he's trying to take on all comers. He's trying to do too much. Begins saying just
ምንድን ነው ያደረከው ግን? ማግኝ ምንድን ነው ያደረከው?
Release the pass. Some strong aggressive play from Watkins. Once his head's down,
ማግኝ ነው ዋትኪንስ ነው?
what's around him? This is the Mansambi strike again. It's comfortable for Martinez. It shouldn't come off the goalkeeper. I reads it. It's a very, very comfortable save. Good work from Mansambi to win the ball back, actually. 7 goals he's got this season, Johan Mansambi. 2 of them have been in this competition, the Europa League. Conte. First off balance. The resistance there of Danovic. And then a foul by Lindelof, was it? Yeah, I think Lindelof will be looking to escape, considering what the referee has considered, worthy of a yellow card, because Manzambi just dances past him. He's taken out. Lindelof is lucky, but again, Manzambi just playing a different position, dropping deep. Was in central midfield was a real problem. He sees Lindelof coming, just dances past him, and it's maybe not the worst challenge you've ever seen. Consider the yellow cards we've had so far. Lindelof is fortunate. Victor Lindelof, a free signing from Manchester United at the start of this season. Tonight is his 10th appearance of this Europa League run. Concern from a Freiburg point of view here now for Johan Manzambi. On the bench, they've got Lucas, who there can play in that kind of number 10 position, but Manzambi, you want him fit, you want him back out there, you want him on the ball. That's not a change that you'd ideally want to make. On his feet, but you can tell there is discomfort. This is international. He received treatment on the field. He must now depart before being invited back on. Freiburg hoping to follow in the footsteps of Eintracht Frankfurt, who were the last German club to win this competition under Oliver Glasner in 2022. Villa deciding to hold a high line here outside the penalty area. Most of us are big players. It's a good defensive tactic. Makes sense. So temporarily, Freiburg down to 10. Immediately, Manzambi's invited back on. Buendia. Just thought for an instant he might be onto that. Covered by Troy, but now Rogers. Don't want to give him much space. Emi Buendia. Shot again. Rogers again. Freiburg just throwing bodies in the way.
Man, no,
German, and Aston Villa are beginning to get more and more creative in attack. And in the problem they had is Lienhardt, the left-hand sided centre half. He's too deep. He's not level with his defensive teammates, so he plays all the Villa players on. I just think there's just sheer weight of numbers there defensively. It's a sight of the Freiburg goal, but it's not a clear one. They're just kind of closing Villa down when they get into the penalty area. It breaks nicely from again. There's no way past. Good position for Philip Lienhardt to make the block. Sometimes as a defender, Connie, you can't win the ball. You just got to get in the line of fire, and that's a great example of it.
Perperento che qua. Tanto che gliene accorto. Ah, un qua non è accorto. 8 minutes to go.
Rogers. Again, stopped by Lienhardt again. Example there, what I was talking about, Rogers partnering Watkins, making it a front two for those long forward passes from Martinez. So it's not just Watkins as the lone striker, he's got a partner. Again. Way by Ginter, straight to Lindelof. One back for Freiburg by Activich, who he did well.
Freiburg.
Back to Ginter. Manzambi. Shrinking in this Victor Lindelof, but Manzambi here into the penalty area. This has got danger written all over it.
All the way to throw.
Too much on the cross. It doesn't need to.
No one is there.
He'll fire this across with as much pace
without any contact or any deflection.
Defender to get back into his own penalty area, not where you want to be. But he actually, as if that's a shot, you've got to kind of feel that ball in. Have a little look at where your teammates are. He doesn't do that. He just smashes the ball in and hopes he finds a teammate. Should really be picking out a red shirt because he had the time and space to do it. Again, Manzambi, the problems he causes getting on the ball, forcing a central midfielder back into his own box, running with the ball, driving in defenders, it causes real problems.
Maybe Buendia. Free kick again to Aston Villa. We've got just over 5 minutes of normal time to play in the first half here in Istanbul. This Hoffler again. He's been with Freiburg for 20 years. He joined as a youth academy player back in 2005. Just raising the boot before coming down. I mean, sure if he actually lands, but it's there's not the launch towards. There's not an awful lot of contact there. But I think when Deal's accepting suggestions to the referee that he should be booking him with players, of course, he can't do that. Rogers waited for it to come. Buendia, Lucadinha, Aston Villa get a corner. Defensively, that is brilliant with Kubler and Bester working as a partnership down the right-hand side. Bester's had to go out with Dini, who's stepped forward, with Kubler the right back. Because his right midfielder has helped him out, he can then drop back into the defensive line to pick off the cross. It is Aston Villa's first corner of the night. And it's played short. No one marking Chiliman!
ምን አይነት ጎል ነው?
What glorious technique! Aston Villa take the lead in Istanbul.
ምን አይነት ጎል?
And it's a Belgian counter. Such a clever set piece because I think Freiburg feel the ball's just going to be thrown into the box and they're setting
ምን
for that. They
አይነት
then play
ጎል
short.
ነው?
All the Freiburg defenders are kind of on the edge of the 6-yard box. There's space there for Tielemans to exploit. And it's quite magnificent. Now, can Aston Villa build on this? How are Freiburg going to respond? This is going to be a very interesting phase of the game now. They have to clear their heads quickly. It's a flash of individual brilliance. And sometimes you can't legislate for that. You just have to recover. Take a few deep breaths and just get your foot on the ball, get back into the game again. Really just scored in the win in Basel in Switzerland in December. No goals in the Premier League this season. It's now over 12 months since his last domestic league goal. But a player who has a knack at of scoring on a big occasion. Remember, he scored for Leicester in the final when they won the FA Cup. And now he has scored what Villa fans hope will be a very memorable goal for them too. Yeah, but his quality is technique. He's always a player you think could maybe get that key opening goal.
ኧረ ቲሌማንስ
But he's creating the opportunity. Villa created the opportunity for him to get on the end of that ball across the penalty area. Given away by Leonhardt. One thing Freiburg absolutely can't do is concede a quick second before half time. That would be a hammer blow. At the moment, so much of the noise is coming from the Aston Villa fans. Hoffler. Freiburg need cool heads, smart decisions now. Manzabli. Pursued by Buendia. It's trickery though from Mansabi. Cash is under pressure here. It comes off Manny Cash. Last touch of the Villa defender. That's going to be a Freiburg corner. And remember, Villa scored from a corner of their own.
He just gets caught ball watching here, Matty Cash. You can see he has no idea that Troy is behind him. And that can be a problem. It's a curse for modern defenders watching the ball when players are on the move. It does come off his chest. It's not handball. But it's that a left back getting in behind a right back. Unless you open your body up and have a little look over your shoulder, you have a real problem.
Last 16 game against Genk, Freiburg conceded first and they came back to win. Martinez commanding the edge of his 6-yard box. That's exactly what Villa needed there. And now, Yuri Tillemans with wind in his sails. Picks out Buendia. McCann! Last touch, deflected off the defender. Villa get a corner again. And it's the English team who are very much on top now.
3-minute added.
You can't put the ball in the air around Emi Martinez. He's a giant. He'll pick the ball up. Then he doesn't just catch it and hold on to it. He gets Villa on the front foot. You know, Freiburg are short in defensive numbers and Villa tried to exploit that. Very nearly did.
Into stoppages, we've already played one of 3 minutes being added on. Buendia leaves it. Konsa couldn't get the velocity to the shot that required.
Aston Villa.
For another Aston Villa corner.
Well, Konsa's not being fouled, but he's being leaned into. He's just slightly off balance. He can't get a really strong connection with his laces on that ball. If he had it done, it would have been 2-0 Villa. It's actually Manzambi back helping the defensive effort. He does really well by not trying to be too aggressive and foul his man.
It's Ricotta, the only goals he's scored this season have been in the Europa League. Here is Villa's goal scorer tonight, Tillemans. So the captain, John McGinn.
Another corner.
Increasingly under pressure, Freiburg puts it up for another Aston Villa corner. The pressure just building all the time.
Aston Villa, as I said, you've got to keep the tempo up. They're looking for that killer second goal, and Freiburg are going to dig deep here.
Begins to take again. This is in front of the main bulk of Freiburg supporters who are just wishing their team could get back into this. Look at Digne. Fonsa to Rogers.
ምንድነው የምትሰራው ሮጀርስ ግን? ቲለመንስ McGinn.
McGinn. Dangerous clip on that. Konsa couldn't direct a goal bound. Griffo needs to get rid.
It's just the kind of cross McGinn puts in. There's too much pace on it. He just needs to dink it, lift it, so Konsa can attack it rather than kind of stretch to try and head it goalwards.
Here's Buendia. Dangerous position for him. Oh! Aston Villa!
ምን አይነት ጎል ነው?
In stoppage time, ahead of the break. This is a really big moment for Aston Villa. Emi Buendia.
The type of strike you need from that position. A long way back for Freiburg now.
What a way to finish the first half. Yuri Tillemans set Aston Villa on their way. Emi Buendia has now established a serious advantage. Freiburg have it all to do. Half-time in the Europa League final. Freiburg 0, Aston Villa 2.
Nil. Freiburg nil. Aston Villa 2. Half time. ጉድ ነው ይሄ። ይሄ ጉድ ነው። ይሄ ጉድ ነው።
Arsenals are officially champions of 2025-2026 English Premier League title after 22 years. So, Bournemouth makes a historical favor for Arsenal. What a historical success for Arteta and also Bukayo Saka.
Sorry, I didn't see it. Darao. Darao.
Arsenal are officially champions of 2025-2026 English Premier League title after 22 years. So, Bournemouth makes a historical favor for Arsenal. What a Arsenal are officially champions of the 2025 English Premier League Cup. Arsenal are officially champions of the 2025 English Premier League Cup. Arsenal are officially champions of the 2025 English Premier League Cup.
Yes.
Arsenal are officially champions of the 2025 English Premier League title after 22 years. So, Bournemouth makes a historical favor for Arsenal. What a historical success for Arsenal and also Bukayo Saka. Declarized, but it's you know that what it means for Arteta and Bukayo Saka.
Two more.
Arsenal are officially champions of the 2025 English Premier League title after 22 years. English Premier League title after 22 years. በጣም የማረሳው እሺ ሰውነታችን ሎጊያ እያለ አንዳችን ታሞ ሰብር Arsenal are officially champions of the English Premier League title after 22 years. So, Bournemouth makes a historical favor for Arsenal. What a historical success for Arsenal and also Bukayo Saka. Declarized as but it's የላችሁም የላችሁ የላችሁ ከመሬት ተነስታችሁ ግን እንደዚህ ማለት የፈለከው እኮ እንደዚህ ነው ትላላችሁ። አምላክ ታቀርቡለታችሁ። አምላክን በተገቢ ሆነ አክብሮት አክብሩት እላለሁኝ። አምላክን በተገቢ አክብሮት የምናከብረው እኛ ሙስሊሞች ብቻ ነን። ወቀውለ ፈተቢውን ሐሰና وشكرا لحسن استماعكم ومتابعتكم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خير أستاذ. إن شاء الله. ያው እስካሁን ወገኖቻችን ብዙ ነገር አይታችኋል፣ ተምራችኋል አይደለ? Arsenals are always shining champions of the English Premier League title after 22 years. So Bournemouth makes a historical favor for Arsenal. Set-piece emphases are still going. No one stopping them. So, Arsenal. Guys, go there and watch. ለስንትና ስንት ሰው ማሊያ ያንበሸበሽ ነው እኔና ብዬል ዛሬ ደግሞ 50 ኢንች ቲቪ ነው ምናበሸብሽ። እንዴት ማሊያውን ማግኘት እንደምትችል ቀስ ብለህ ይሄን ቪዲዮ ኮፒ ሊንክ እያደረግ ብቻ በጥሞና ጠብቀኝ ነው። መጀመሪያ ቀዳበ የት ነው ያለነው? ኦርቢት ኤሌክትሮኒክስ ነው ያለነው። ኦርቢት 50 ኢንች 3 ሰውን 50 ኢንች ቲቪ ልንሸልም ነው። እንዴት ነው የምታገኘው ምትል ቡድኔ አርሰናል መቸኛው ቻምፒየንስ ሊግ ፋይናል የደረሰው አውራሪስ ዝበት አሰክስ አውሬው ቡድን ማለት ዋንጫ ምታወራ ነው የሚመስለው። ቢገርሳበት እኔ ቢንዶውታ ፍሬም ታበላሻለህ አንተ። መቸኛው ከፔስ ሲጋ የሚያደርገው የቻምፒየንስ ሊግ የፋይናል ጨዋታ ኮሬክት ስኮር እንደሌላ ጊዜ አይደለም። ጎል የሚያገባውን ተጫዋች ከሁለቱ ተጫዋቾች ቀድሞ ጎል የሚያገባውን ተጫዋች ኮሜንት ላይ ለጻፉ ሰዎች 3 ሰዎች መጠን እኔና አቢ 50 ኢንች ቲቪ እንሸልማቸዋለን ማለት ማሊያ ምናምን አይደለም። ለፋይናል ሲሆን ምን ሸልመሽ ቲቪ ነው። ቀጣዩን ፕሪሚየር ሊግ፣ ቀጣዩን ቻምፒዮንስ ሊግ፣ ቀጣዩን ኤፍ ኤ ካፕ፣ ቀጣዩን ዩሮፓ ሊግ እዛ ሊቨርፑል የምታዩበትን ቲቪ ነው የሚሸልማል። ይህንን ማስታወቂያ ያመጣልህ አርሰናልን ልታመሰግነው አይገባም? እና ፔሲና መጣለ ለበዛ
ወይኔ እናቴ
Years game, 3 minutes into stoppage time. It was virtually the last action of the first half that have sent Villa fans into delirium.
Villa did really well as they did just sit back on that 1-goal lead. They pressed Freiburg, Konza had a couple of chances and some set pieces. They forced that second goal.
This is Rogers. Buendia runs into Ginter. Difficulty in clearing his lines from Philip Troy. So again, hopefully Rogers there as Freiburg get the free kick.
It's a challenge he was always going to make. He was always going to go at it with his left foot as well. He just maybe slightly jumps into the challenge. He doesn't really need to do that. The ball is there to be won. Yes, you can slide in and try and win it, but he kind of gets off his feet and jumps into the challenge. Hardly any contact. I'm not even sure he gets caught there.
Out comes Emi Martinez. Had to be careful not to handle outside the box. But offside flag raises, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway because Freiburg were offside.
Very good defensive line that they were holding there. So then force the Freiburg players to run into that offside position.
Julian Schuster, just 41 years of age. What a test of his mettle now as a head coach. How can he swing the pendulum here in Istanbul back in Freiburg's favour? Villa, there is still a long way to go, but there is no doubt that this is going very well for Unai Emery in what is his favourite competition.
Two very different half-time team talks from the coaches, but for Julian Schuster, it's just reminded players for 40 minutes. It was a really tight contest. It's just that Tielemans goal just changed the complexion instantly.
Sweet.
Watkins pursued by Eggestein. Shot was blocked by Lienhardt. Freiburg there felt that Watkins handballed the ricochet. Referee is happy for play to continue. Cleared away eventually by Lienhardt. For the moment looking to turn the screw. Buendia just trying to loft it towards that far top corner again.
It's really good refereeing actually, because Manzambi throws himself to the ground. He's trying to convince the referee that Konza fouled him. He hadn't. Aggressive play, won the ball back. Put Buendia in a dangerous position.
Ginter. Thomas Ginter, who is Freiburg born and raised. Bester. Kubla. Ginter spotting that and standing has picked up a pocket of space. acceleration. It's just not happening for him so far tonight.
Aston Villa, two of their main men have stepped forward to influence the game. Freiburg, Grifo, Manzambi, Vesta, Matanovic, attacking quartet is just not been heavily involved in the game. That needs to change for them.
Many of Freiburg's attacks have been concentrated down their left-hand side. Nicholas Vesta, who only attempted 4 passes of the ball in the first half. Can they bring him into it a little bit more? Lindelof, Tillemans. Rogers commits the foul on Egerstein.
I mentioned a couple of times in the first half that defensive insurance that Lindelof, defender dropping into the back line, his headed clearance into midfield. Just gets them slightly late, Rogers. I think what Freiburg will want is to try and get as many free kicks high up the pitch. They can maybe play it into the box, and they can keep the ball and keep trying to ramp up the pressure on Villa.
So it's Ginter. That's good vision. Grifo waiting for his big moment in this final. And Zambi to Ginter, too close to Emi Martinez again.
The second half just starting to move more towards Martinez's goal, but pedestrian so far for Villa. Defensively, yes, I understand you're 2-0 up, you can sit deep in your own half, but you have to engage at some point. It's been a little bit too easy for Freiburg in the Villa half so far.
Tillemans. Wonderful technique from the Belgian to score just before half time. Rogers gets another free kick for Aston Villa. Challenges eventually bringing him down.
I'm sure it's that initial challenge. Ginter stepping out to the front. Rogers steps across his path, doesn't win the ball. He's been really in control of it because of that challenge that Ginter has made.
Tillemans looking for Watkins, so close.
Well, his touch actually takes it off target eventually, but really simple free kick. It is, but it's so effective because, again, a clip ball, the weight and the angle are right, and the forward runners timed that run to perfection. You can get in very easily, and Watkins was slightly on the stretch. And Freiburg just switching off and nearly paid a heavy price. That could have been final over.
This one goal for Freiburg would very much increase the jeopardy once again. And at the moment, it feels like Aston Villa are comfortable with this lead. Hoffler. And Zambi. Troy.
Aston Villa advantage.
Headed away by Pau Torres.
It's very difficult when you're inexperienced, you're 2-0 down in a big final. They're just
Wayne
flicking the ball
Watkins.
into the box. It's more hit and hope. Got to be more patient. It's hard again when you're 2-0 down. You had those 2 hammer blows before half time. It's hard then to go out in the second half and relax and play because you know the scoreline. You desperately want that goal back and you're trying to force the issue.
And Zambi. Great distance on that. Lindelof could only get a weak touch. Pau Torres got a much more emphatic one. A much more important touch for Aston Villa. Minutes played in the second half.
Sorry, Walia. Oh, I didn't recognize that. I like your number. ዋሊያ ስፖርት ቴንክ ዩ ረስቼ ነበር።
Stein. It's in that from Clifford. Last 10 attempts in this game have come from Aston Villa. Freiburg's last shot was Johan Manzappi. That was back in the 34th minute. It's been a flurry of attacking Villa attacks since then. Aston. That's the direction that Villa wanted moving in.
That's the one for Freiburg. They've had a fair amount of possession just under.
Thank you, Shi.
There.
ረሳሁት አላየሁትም። በቃ ዝም ብዬ ሁለቱም ጎል በቃ ያበደ ጎል ነበረ። I didn't recognize that. Thank you.
There's problems for Villa. Fancy Cash in a good defensive position. There probably would have been a handball given there. Just
Yes,
a lapse in concentration, a bit of quality maybe for Freiburg, and get a goal back. Everything changes.
ቪላ እንዴት ፕሪሚየር ሊግ ራሱ እንዳልበሉ እየገረመኝ ነው።
Scorer for the second goal tonight. And he sets up the third for Morgan Rogers.
3.
And Aston Villa will feel they have one hand on the Europa League trophy.
Rogers.
Well, this game is a great example. It's not how much of the ball you have, it's how effective you are with it. And as that attack was building, it had come to nothing. I was trying to say, Aston Villa, you feel they put 4 or 5 passes together, they'll create an opportunity where Freiburg, again, put 50 passes together. They're not getting at Villa. But again, Dini, he sees the run of Brendy, he plays the ball early. Then you've got a dangerous attacker, running at a fullback. Fullback gives him too much space to put the ball in, but, Morgan Rogers, his movement is excellent because Ollie Watkins run away from the near post. There's space to be exploited. Rogers and again, all he needs is a touch because there's pace on the ball.
Seventeen match minutes for a rampant Aston Villa. It's that individual quality that we thought Aston Villa had over Freiburg, and that's exactly what's happened. There is something about the Europa League and Unai Emery. They appear made for each other. Spell straight after half-time has been a very good look for Villa in this competition this season. It's now 6 goals they've scored in the opening 15 minutes of the second half of Europa League games this campaign. Aston on the night that's becoming a nightmare for Freiburg, but that's a good delivery. And Matanovic can't get it on target. Wouldn't have counted anyway. The flag was up for offside.
Again, disciplined defensive line, squeezing up, catching the Freiburg players offside. When you look at the possession stats for the second half, it's been all Freiburg, but again, having the ball doesn't win you a game. You've got to make good use of it. And Villa with that third goal showed exactly how effective you can be, how incisive you can be.
Well, got to push the panic button now. In case of emergency, break glass. Max Rosenthaler and Lucas Hula, come on. Ottenfelder is a defender, Kula an attacker. He's yet to score in the Europa League this season. Emi Martinez does not concede 3 goals tonight. Aston Villa are going to be crowned Europa League champions. Zambi.
I expect that man Zambi to play that little bit deeper alongside Egerstein in central midfield. There will play in that number 10 pocket that Manzambi was playing in. So it looks maybe a negative move, but I still think if they have a lot of the ball, Manzambi and Uler as a pair can actually step forward. They've got to take risks now. Again, they're bound to be worried every time they lose the ball. Villa really wants it, so they're going to create another chance to score another goal.
So Morgan Rogers and Emi Martinez, they've each got a goal and an assist in this Europa League final. Troy links it off Matty Cash for the Freiburg throw.
It's a real surprise when Nia and Rogers have actually scored tonight. When you look at the goal scoring form there, and then you look at Watkins begin as well. It's this attacking variety. Then you add Tielemans into the mix. It's very difficult to deal with.
And Johan Manzambi launched this one. It's attempted to flick on by Muller. Interesting to see what formation Freiburg referred to now. As much as they want to throw the kitchen sink at this, they don't want it to get completely out of hand. Tadic. Great battling again by Tielemans in the midfield.
They're going to have to take a few risks, but you're right, again, they don't deserve to lose 4 or 5 nil. They've got to be very careful that doesn't happen. The Villa fans, though, it's dreamland for Unai Emery, for the players, the fans. You'd offer them this scoreline after, what, an hour played? They'd have definitely taken it.
Is Unai Emery going to become the first Aston Villa manager since Brian Little to lift a major trophy 30 years ago?
There's time left for Freiburg maybe to turn this game around, but it'll be some story if they do. But for Aston Villa, if they win the Europa League, qualified for the Champions League through their Premier League lead position, what a season they've had.
Freiburg have seen a lot of the ball since half-time. They've been 70% possession. It's not how much possession you have, it's what you do with it. And Villa have been ruthless in that regard tonight.
Martinez has been a spectator in the second half, and it is very difficult. It's very easy to say, we'll dominate the ball, we'll create chance after chance. You've got to get through your opponents, and Villa off the ball and making it very hard for them.
I'm in my home.
Cash. Again. First back pass. Alarm there for Antabulo.
I'm in my home.
Down goes Matty Cash. Flag is raised anyway. Freiburg were offside.
Offside FSC. We have to say offside FSC for Freiburg.
Maybe just playing Freiburg, but it's that defensive line for Villa. Time and again, excellent.
It's closest to whether only Watkins was offside, and in fact,
Aston Villa are so committed offside.
International was in behind the last defender.
See how Watkins looking right across the pitch of this. He knows he's offside, doesn't he? He's just waiting for that flag to go up. It takes a bit of time, but he's definitely offside. He tries to check his run. He's gone slightly too early, but it's like he looks across the pitch thinking, am I going to get away with it? No, Ollie, you're not.
First change.
Amadou Onana.
Amadou Onana is going to come on in place of Victor Lindelof. Normally a defender, Lindelof has performed admirably out of position in midfield. But now, Aston Villa get to bring on a specialist in that position.
I think Unai Emery has the luxury now at 3-0 to maybe just keep putting fresh players on, quality players who again fit the formation, but it's 1-0 or 0-0. Maybe you think twice about making a change like that so early.
He's been out since the semi-final first leg against Nottingham Forest. Amadou Onana. It's his first game since then.
I'm not sure if whether he'd actually broken into the team, but then Lindelof for me probably would have started. I think Boubacar Kamara was probably the only Villa player injured that if he'd have been fully fit, I feel he would have taken Lindelof's place. Again, it's just testament to how well Lindelof has done in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Turned what might have been a negative, having Brent Onana both injured at the same time, into a positive with the introduction of Lindelof. You've got to take your hat off to Unai Emery for that. This must be so frustrating for Freiburg.
Yeah, I mean, sugar.
Onana.
Amado. Oh, they have to be yellow card, by the way.
That's the problem Freiburg have. They have to chase the ball down. They have to make challenges. They're trying to win the ball back as much as they can. Protect the ball so well
It
there.
have to be yellow card.
Trying in central midfield. Just can't get round him without fouling. But Villa will take this. It just slows the game down, keeps them in possession.
Give the ball for
It's going to be taken by Unai
Watkins, as you did earlier. Watkins, you can do it.
midway through the second half in Istanbul. And imagine the scenes back in the Midlands in England as well as Birmingham. Aston for the fans who've waited so long for a night like
Not
this.
like that. Round it.
Begin. Dangerous.
What a pass.
Big famous comebacks, of course, in European finals. Liverpool famously against AC Milan had to come from
Yes,
3
it's
goals down.
Champions League.
Freiburg have got to start asking more questions and quickly.
Hasn't been any sign, even a threat. St. Martinez has been a spectator. He's been so well protected.
Tillemans or who?
Here's
Watkins?
The board. But his eye was on goal himself.
What are you doing, Watkins?
Almost too much time for Ollie Watkins there.
The idea is right, but it's, he step over.
ምን አይነት ነው አለ እንደዚህ ይደረጋል?
From him, that means the defender then can make the challenge. If he keeps it close,
ምርጥ ኳስ አበላሸው ከስሩ በኋላ
a decent strike on target in. But again, you can see Freiburg chasing the game straight.
እንዴት
Watkins in behind. That touch is really poor. That enables Ginter to slide in and make it a comfortable clearance.
They are not still giving up. They are not giving up.
Aston Villa, whose opening goal tonight came from a corner. They have scored more goals from corners in this season's Europa League than any other team. In swinger for McGinn. Onana comes back off the post. Still alive for Luca D. Rodgers. Onana back to Rodgers.
Corner.
Are enjoying the
Corner
success
kick.
of this Europa League final.
Yeah, you wonder why, and they scored so many goals from corners. It's that perfect combination, quality delivery, and big players on the move, and Onana very nearly made it 4. Just gets round the back, causing a real problem. Keepers protecting the near post, so he probably doesn't squeeze in. I think with bringing Onana on, it just gives you that physical threat, aerial threat that he didn't have previously.
Buonia.
Buendia.
Buendia. Who is this?
No one marking Matty Cash here.
ምን ካሽ ነው ይሄ ደግሞ? ብድር ነው እንጂ This is not cash.
Premier League in early December. He also scored against Manchester City in October. He's had some high-profile opponents he scored against this season, but that was never close once it left his boot. And the goal he scored against Manchester City was from a corner set piece like that, where they opened the team up, got it to the edge of the box, and he struck the ball goals there and scored. That's exactly what they were looking to do again there. Freiburg are preparing to make another double substitution. Willing to try anything now. Kubler. Dino. Out Torres. Aston. Zambi. Huller, who's struggled to get into the flow of the game since his introduction, as he saw. Zambi. So McGinn is covering the right back position. Griffo. Out comes Emi Martinez. Safe hands from the Aston Villa goalkeeper. Long distribution towards Watkins, and the referee feels that's a natural coming together, no free kick.
And the cross was so easy for Martinez to pick up. What does he do? He's positive. Doesn't just go to ground and try and waste a bit of time. He tries to get Watkins in behind that Freiburg defence, looking for a fourth.
The time stoppages are added on. There's well over 20 minutes to go here, but Aston Villa so close to glory now. Can Freiburg possibly
Cash,
facilitate something
you are
here?
ready. You are not Cash.
Going on, Jordi Makengo,
Oh, Dini, yeah. Are you?
Danny Schillett. Schillett who scored in Freiburg's most recent game, the win over Leipzig in the Bundesliga at the weekend. Aston, who will be disappointed with how much of the ball he's seen tonight. Griffin's coming off. So too Kuhn. Freiburg get one back here. Can they get the ball rolling? Aston's delivery. Tielemans took a tumble. Martinez couldn't hold on to it.
ኧረ ማርቲኔዝ ይችላል ወላ
Pleased to see him return to his clubs the second time.
He's very lucky to get away with that. It's a bit too nonchalant the way he comes to try and catch that. I think it's going to be a clean catch, and it was a fumble. Poor.
Tielemans
Wow.
with the Arizona. Freiburg have got to haul their time bodies backwards. Just over a quarter of an hour of normal time to play in Istanbul.
ዋው
Konza. Torres just too high for Ollie Watkins.
The timing of the Villa goals as well. Those two quick goals just before half time. I may come out and think I can put some pressure on. Maybe we'll get the third goal in the game. Could be game on just before the hour mark. Rodgers just takes the final away from them.
Aston Villa drawing on the happy memories of the European Cup final in 1982 when they were crowned the champions of Europe. But it was a German team, Bayern Munich, they beat in the final. Tielemans straight to Onana, gets it back. Aston closely covered by Lugadin. Buendia. Confidence about Villa, the way they'll play it out here under pressure.
Seems like Villa got the luxury of actually enjoying the rest of this final as well because of the position key individuals have put them in. It's very rare. You're so desperate to win the cup, aren't you? Be 3-0 up and just knocking the ball around, knowing that you've won it. That is, again, we just maybe didn't see that coming. Thought it was going to be a closer contest than this.
It's a contest that at the moment has become a coronation. Tielemans looks from again. Ginter slid in.
ኧረ ማርቲኔዝ ይችላል ወላ
Buendia to his left. He's
Cool.
got Tielemans in field. This is Buendia. That is the side netter.
ሳተው
All
what
it needed was the finishing touch, the build-up, the movement off the ball, the shift in
What?
attacking positions. They just slice Freiburg open, and Buendia knows, tries to be a bit too clever, should be making it 4-0.
Well, it would have been a thing of beauty. What a build-up.
See John McGinn drifting right across the pitch, giving Tielemans a forward pass.
ለውጥ ማግባት ይችል ነበር
Moving off the ball. You've got to go back across goal. He's trying to be too clever. Catching
ለውጥ
out the
ራስ
goalkeeper
ማውጣት
at the
ይችል
near
ነበር
post. What the bulk of the goal is, just open your body up and pass it towards the far post. You make it 4, and he knows what a glorious chance it is, what a glorious team goal that would have been.
That's not his range. 2 yards out is not any Buendia territory. So many of his goals, like the one he has already scored in this final, hit from outside the box. But certainly Jimmy Schuster relieved that things did not become 4-0 there.
And if you miss that chance at 1-0 down, Unai Emery would be absolutely devastated. There's another look back at the stunning individual quality that Villa have produced. First 2 minutes, a little look from Buendia. That whipped pass into the top corner, unstoppable. Freiburg think we can get back into this game. Watkins leads the space. Rodgers drives into it, just gets a touch on a pacey ball in. No wonder Unai Emery, the future king, very, very happy with what their club are producing.
Royal approval for this Aston Villa performance tonight by royal appointment. Providers of football entertainment for the future king. That goal, by the way, from Morgan Rodgers means he's the youngest English goal scorer in a European final since Steven Gerrard 25 years ago. Matty Cash. Watkins. Only Watkins will want to join this goal scoring spree. This final touch puts it up for another Aston Villa corner.
I think what we have to admire is the balance in the Villa game as well. Yes, they've scored 3 goals, could have scored maybe 4 or 5, but defensively, Freiburg just haven't been able to get at them. Martinez has been well protected. The balance, the control, everything about this Villa performance has been so good.
እንደ ይሄ ሁላ ሰው ሊቀየር ነው። 7 corner 7-1.
12 minutes of normal time to go. Cash for the delivery. Buendia at the front post. This is John again. Well, he tried to pick his spot. He didn't want to lash it there. Difficult range for that sort of attempt from the Scotsman.
He's always going to take on his spots. He just adjusts his body, gets round the ball and he's trying to pass it home. A bit like Buendia. He's so keen on keeping it on target. Is the right choice, but the goalkeeper is ready at his near post.
Zambi sent it in early, maybe before Over was ready.
It's not a great cross, but again, look how quickly Villa get into a good defensive shape. How Torres anticipating the cross and picking it off really easily.
Last Scotsman to captain an English club to a European trophy was Graham Souness for Liverpool.
There's that opportunity. I say he runs round it so he can get it onto his left foot. It's actually a really good save. Keeper's at his near post, but it comes through bodies. It's not an easy save to make, and that's a bowler does well to keep it out. Well, that could have been 5 for Villa with a chance to take out in the second half.
Pleased with how the game is going on the field, but he does have options on the bench too. Still about to give a run in this final to Jadon Sancho, to Ian Matson. Sancho has been on an unbelievable run of appearing in European finals. More than gets possession away. Rosenfelder. And Tabuna. Just over 10 minutes of normal time on the big stadium clock here in Istanbul. Neat and tidy, unflustered for the Villa defence as they have been all night.
Absolutely, but these Unai Emery changes, if the scoreline was different, I'm not convinced he will be making them. It's because the game is so comfortable, and they've made it comfortable for themselves. It's not by luck, it's by design. It's just taking the game away from Freiburg, then you can send players on to really enjoy the final.
Right, so here comes the introduction. Ian Matson and Jadon
Rodgers
Sancho.
or Watkins.
Matson who played in the Champions League final 2 years ago for Borussia Dortmund when they were beaten by Real Madrid. There will be a huge ovation for Emi Buendia. What an impact the Argentine has had on this Europa League final. Lauded ovation from the Aston Villa fans. Look at people midway to Matson in at left back. For Jadon Sancho, he now becomes the first player to ever appear in 3 major European finals in 3 consecutive seasons.
What?
Sancho, who was in that Dortmund team of the Champions League final 2 years ago, he was in the Conference League final team. He scored for Chelsea last season. And now Jadon Sancho on in the Europa League final for Aston Villa. First touch for the pair of new arrivals.
Of course, Sancho and Maatsen, they'll be disappointed not to start the game, but to come on in a huge final 3-0 up, it's against a substitute, it's what you dream of, because again, you can just relax and enjoy the minutes that you have out there.
A minute of normal time.
Brought on in very difficult circumstances tonight, but the horse already bolted perhaps. Aston Villa are ready to enjoy the final few laps now. Muller, Zambe, free kick to Freiburg.
Takes the ball well. It's a slight touch on that Anani, maybe slightly unfortunate to be penalised for that challenge.
It's a free kick, but this is the end of the pitch that Freiburg
Hello.
position in.
Alavra.
Getting back up to his feet.
Alavra መብቴ መሰለኝ አላወራ አላወራ ምን ይመጣል አላወራ ታይ ጋር ዝም ብለሽ ተናፍቀሻል ደግሞ የኔ ወርቅ ተናፍቀሻል
Adding 3 to their tally tonight. It's going to be a yellow card here in the last 7 minutes for Aston Villa's number 7, John McGinn.
ተናፍቀሻል የኔ ወርቅ ምንድነው ትሉ ዲምቶ የሚሄድልሽ ምናልባት ይሄን ሳምንት የሆነ ትንሽ ብር ካገኘው ወደ ጅማ ሳልሄድ አልቀርም ሳልሄድ ላድርስልሽ ምንድነው
Freiburg's tale was the romantic one tonight. Team from the edge of the Black Forest.
ምንድነው የሚሄድልሽ ማሽ ነው የሚሄድልሽ ትሉ ዲምቶ
And making on tonight by Martinez. Matt Zambe nearly dragging one back, as has been the way for Freiburg tonight. It wouldn't have counted anyway. The offside flag was raised.
Time and time again, they're putting balls on top of that Villa defensive line. You can see how disciplined it is. And Zambi just goes slightly too early. Again, it's safe, but it's a good height. There's not a lot of power on it. Martinez doesn't know the offside flag is going to go up, so he does make a good save. But that Villa defensive line, it's so hard to get past.
Martinez.
Maybe Martinez would cherish a clean sheet tonight in this Europa League final. Freiburg supported loudly until the bitter end here tonight. Onana. Begin. Slide comes in from the goal. The change coming up for Freiburg. Chance to play in this final for Christian Gunter. He's just finishing his 14th season as a Freiburg player. He is the club's all-time record appearance holder. And there's the feeling here that Julian Schuster wants to give him the honour of appearing in this showcase final.
What a different feeling for him coming on than the Villa substitutions. So I can understand the substitution, but very different circumstances for Gunter.
Rodgers seeks and finds another Aston Villa corner. Villa fans who in the Maynard house directly behind the goal their team have been attacking in the second half. How they have enjoyed the view tonight. Morgan Rogers has been the only Aston Villa player who has featured in every game, in every competition this season. He has had some end on him all campaign. Minutes of normal time to play. 3 goals between the teams. Off to you this time from begin. Aston. Strength from Shelley. Sancho dispossessed. Down goes Ezri Konsa. Free kick to Aston Villa.
So clever from Conte. Sees Sheridan, he just steps across his path, he protects the ball, he gets in between man and ball. Of course, the desperation to get to the ball, I can understand why the foul is committed, but Konsa, he's not really playing the ball. See, he has a little look and he just steps across and says, go on, foul me.
Honest.
European football. He's come all the way to this Europa League final. Aston Villa really to bring on 2 experienced campaigners to see this through.
Powder it in.
History with Unai Emery goes back so many years. What a stalwart job he's done tonight. Tyrone Mings, the long-serving central defender, comes on in his place. Douglas Luiz also introduced the Brazilian international.
To win on Tielemans, he lit this final. That opening goal was one of the best we've probably ever seen in Europe.
Wonderful technique, which will be spoken about, which will be sung about for the decades to come for supporters of Aston Villa Football Club. Matson. 2 minutes of normal time to go.
Honest. Serious amount. You should not honest. Someone or someone.
Gets to a final, you want to give it your best shot. Aston Villa will feel that they have arrived in prime condition to do what they wanted to do tonight.
Of course, Freiburg, they wanted to excel, but I just think Villa have stopped them doing that. You look at the stats in the game, both sides have had about 50% possession. Look at quality of chances, expected goals. Villa's is 2. Freiburg's is 0.2. So again, they haven't created anything, even though they've had a lot of possession. That's down to Villa just keeping them at arm's length. The referee just laying down the law to Ezri Konsa, saying, I'm the referee, I'll make the decisions. You just concentrate on playing.
Julian Schuster is about to be the end of the road tonight. Still been a glorious campaign for Freiburg.
Smatas almatas bay. Midno bazanya matmaju midno bazanya matmaju.
Germany tomorrow. This Europa League final has proved to be a step too far for Freiburg.
ተናፍቀሻል የኔ ወርቅ አልኩኝ። ይህ ሁሉ አልተሰማም ሳ ከደል ግቢ ባላወራ
The quality of opposition was too much for Freiburg.
Throw in from Manzambi this time.
አንቺ ስመጣት በይም በምንድን ነው የምትመጪው እንዴ?
The opportunity to cross. Konsa. Gunter. Ended up by Douglas Luiz.
Sunday guys tomorrow then.
I think the neutral will probably think just maybe let Freiburg get a goal, just get a consolation goal. It's not going to change the outcome. Let's just give them something for their efforts. Not necessarily in this game, but because of how hard they've worked throughout the competition, getting to the final. That's been incredible, really.
1 minute.
We expected them to be here, but Freiburg, no, we didn't expect that.
Just one solitary minute to be added on.
Ciao baka.
Freiburg are about to be put out of their misery swiftly tonight here. And after 44 years of waiting.